Show on the road. So every first Tuesday of the month, we have a Zoom just for going over the 3 steps. So our promoters really understand why the 3 steps are better than just over-the-counter vitamins, because we all know how we feel with them. But some people, like me, are very green, and we want to know a little bit more of the why they work, not just that you feel great with them. And so that's when we came up with this idea of this one is open to customers. So if you ever have a customer asking all like the nitty gritty questions and you're like, I don't know, direct them to this first Tuesday of the month Zoom that they can hop on live and ask their own personal questions, or you can tag them right in this video when it goes up on YouTube. So we are just going to go ahead and start right with our 3 steps. So we all know we start with our capsules, to our lifestyle mix, to our DFT. And so our capsule is our very first thing that we're taking in the morning. And that is what's really jump starting our day. And so the capsule works where we take it on an empty stomach. So all 3 steps are first thing in the morning, empty stomach, which is a really, really important thing that we'll cover at the very end. But the capsule we take first, and it's going to have our probiotics, and it's going to have our B vitamins and also a good bit of our caffeine from the 3 steps. So all 3 steps together, even with some of our plus line ones, all are equal to less than a cup of coffee. So if anybody's ever really concerned about how much caffeine they're going to be getting with this, it's less than a cup of coffee. But the way that the caffeine in the 3 steps is absorbed is why you don't get that jittery feeling. And so in our capsule, we have green coffee bean, guarana, I always pronounce that one wrong, and tea, caffeine from tea. So the combination of these three, they all absorb into your system a little slower, and that's why we get that energy all day long, is that it's slowly absorbing. And we take this capsule, and that is going to start waking you up right away. So I know for me personally, within 10 minutes, I'm like ready to go. So after our 20 minutes that we are waiting, and we're not eating in between these steps, because the way our stomach empties into our gut is that when we have only liquids in it, it's emptying in 20 to 30 minutes. But if you add food, so if you eat breakfast in between the 2 steps, then it's going to take over an hour. And with probiotics, they have to stay at certain temperatures. They're really picky. Live. They're live. And so they don't want to be eaten by stomach acid. Me personally wouldn't want to be eaten by stomach acid. So we protect those guys by letting them get all the way down into our gut in a timely manner by not eating in between and drinking plenty of water. So our next step is our lifestyle mix. And this lifestyle mix is what's going to have our prebiotics or fiber. So prebiotics, fiber, it's the same thing. And fiber is what feeds the probiotics. Remember, they're living. They need to be fed too. And so with this lifestyle mix, they're getting fed. And then it also has digestive enzymes. And so enzymes are going to help your stomach to be able to digest it and get it ready for your gut a little quicker and a little less energy from you. And so the combination of these two is what sets Thrive apart to begin with. So when you go to the store, you're going to find vitamins that are in a capsule form. You're going to find vitamins that are sort of in that shake form, but you're not going to find a vitamin that combines the two. And it's this combination of vitamins where we have that capsule, we have that shake, and it's going to let our bodies absorb everything in the best way possible. And so with those two, it's getting it from your stomach, which absorbs no vitamins. So if it gets dissolved in your stomach, like a lot of the capsules that you'll buy across the counter do, you're absorbing none of those vitamins you just paid for. So it's like throwing them in the trash because your body's not getting them. So are you really saving money if your body's not absorbing them? And so once it gets down into your gut is where all of the like good stuff happens. Your gut is going to absorb those vitamins. Your gut is controlling a lot of things going on in your body. I never realized how important gut health was until I started doing a little more research, and research on it is still pretty new. And so the gut has been compared to being like your second brain. It's helping with serotonin levels, it's helping to regulate your moods. And so if you have a really gunked up, crappy gut, what your moods aren't going to be that great. So as Thrive moves through, you're going to start cleaning that gut up, and a clean gut, happy moods. You know, it sort of correlates together. And with the 3 steps, so these first 2 working, when we have day 1 thrivers, a lot of times from what I've noticed is that they eat a rather healthy diet to begin with. And so if you're not a very healthy eater to begin with, you might have a few days or even weeks before you start to feel your thriving experience. And so when doing minis, or when you have people just starting, reassure them that if they don't feel anything in those first few days, that Thrive is still working and doing its job. So when you're starting this vitamin in the system, you are going to have to reverse any negative that you've done. So if you've been really into fast food or not eating very healthy, like, that's okay, but you're going to start getting this energy. You want to start eating a little bit healthier. And then Thrive's going to start reversing the damage sort of that you've done to yourself. So it's not a quick fix or anything, because it's a vitamin, not a magic pill. And so vitamins, any healthy lifestyle takes time. So those are our first 2 steps that start to do all of that good work in your gut. And then our last step, which is our DFT, which I don't have on my arm right now, it's on my foot. So won't show it to you today. But that is going to have vitamins that are absorbing straight into your bloodstream. So it's skipping over your stomach and all of that and going straight into your bloodstream, where it is, depending on which DFT you have, because we have a couple of different options depending on your goal. And that is going to be giving you more nutrients throughout the day. So I know our most popular one before TAC is our black and white label, which actually has the mood support with the 5-HTPs. They had the B12, which if you have somebody that does a plant-based diet or not a lot of meat, B12 is a really important nutrient that they aren't getting, because B12 is found in nutritional yeast and not a lot of other plant-based sources. It's mostly found in meat. And all of our B vitamins are what turn food into energy. So they're super important, and they don't stay in your body. So with our capsule having all of those B vitamins, you're replenishing those every single morning. And that's really important because your body's not holding on to it. So you can't really get too much. You could get too much. You can get too much of anything, but it's going to be extremely difficult to get too much of those B vitamins. And so if you're not replenishing them, though, all the food that you're eating out throughout the day isn't going to be turned into energy as efficiently. And so with all 3 steps working together, if you have one of the DFTs with caffeine in it, you're getting a slow drip of caffeine throughout the entire day. You're getting those extra vitamins throughout the entire day, and that really helps you to just keep going. And all of this sort of releases slowly, and it gets nice and absorbed into your system. We have over a 90% absorption rate, which is amazing. If you look at some of our over-the-counter brands, they're not nearly up there because it's all dissolving in your stomach. And so a couple of things to keep in mind when you're on your Thrive experience and taking these 3 steps, and to get the most out of your Thrive experience, is to make sure you're drinking enough water. So you're going to feel super thirsty while you're taking these vitamins, and that's just because your body needs water. Most of us probably don't drink enough water, so it's like, you're giving me this good stuff, now give me the other good stuff. So make sure that you're drinking tons of water. If you notice you're visiting the restroom a little bit more often, that's completely normal with probiotics. And did you really want to hold on to all of that? I know I don't. So that is completely normal. And then also, we tell you not to have any extra caffeine on top. And this is a big one if you don't want to get the jitters and to feel like your heart's going to explode, because with the system, it already has its caffeine. And so when you drink a cup of coffee on a normal day before your Thrive experience, think of you're starting right down here at like ground level, and then you're adding that caffeine and going up. Well, with your Thrive experience, you're starting already halfway up this mountain. Now you're adding coffee and you're like going straight to the moon and falling back down. Not a pleasant experience, I'm pretty sure. And so you don't want to add that extra caffeine on top so you're not shooting up, coming back down, because coffee absorbs a lot quicker into your system than tea and the caffeine sources that we have in here. And so instead of having that nice, like throughout the day energy all day, you have this energy high and crash. The same with the synthetic caffeines, which absorb even faster. That's why people love energy drinks. They drink it and they're ready to go for 2 hours and then they crash. And so, with some of these little tips and tricks, you would get, if you're adding those on top, you're not going to get your best Thrive experience. You're going to think it doesn't work. And it really isn't the Thrive experience at that point because we told you not to do it. But if anybody has any questions, can answer them and look at the chat. I think we covered all 3 steps, not too long. So they're really not super complicated, which I love. And I love that it's really a system for everyone, because as you clean your gut up, you're just going to allow your body to do what it needs to do. And so with the Thrive experience, you're able to aid in losing weight, you're able to aid in gaining weight. It's going to do what your body wants it to do. So that is our Thrive experience. So if you do think of any other questions, ask your promoter, and they can always get back to me and I can help them figure it out if they don't know the answer. But I'm sure they will, because every single one of you all on here is awesome and super knowledgeable. And that's all I got for you tonight. Anything else? But if not, I hope everyone has an awesome night and a great Tuesday. Bye.